Oh no, it's Mark.
Alright, cool. Let's go. What's up, guys? It is Mark Yoon, and I'm bringing you a fun topic today. It's another actual collaboration video with Ragiroth Enterprises. My friend Rich. Say what's up, Rich.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
The link to his description, the link to his channel will be in my description box below. So make sure you can click on that, and you'll go over to him. And notice all the times he doesn't see you there. It's quite fun. So we're going to be doing a two-part discussion video today. This is part one, so be sure after this video is over to click on part two on Ragiroth Enterprises channel. And what we're going to be talking about today is DLC and focusing developers focusing too much on online aspects of Tekken. Or fighting games in general, as opposed to single-player content. I'm sorry if I'm a little distracted because I'm really far in Treasure Battle, so I'm fighting pretty much all Overlords and Vanquishers now. So I forgot how far I got. But yeah, if you have any comments or any questions about how we do the video or what you want to see in the future, please leave it in the comment section below or hit me up on any of my social media. Alright, well, without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. So, Rich, how about you start us off by getting the topic started today?
Alright, so, both of us love fighting games. I mean, 80% or 90% of my videos so far have been about, fighting games coming out and all that. And, and Mark's done some videos about fighting games as well. And, I'm looking forward to all the ones coming out. But here's the thing that, kind of bothers us, that we always vent about all the time. It just seems like fighting games these days, a lot of the times they kind of focus too much on online and not enough for single player modes and stuff like that. And I feel like in the earlier 2000s and late 90s, fighting games used to have much more to do in those areas, especially games like Soul Calibur, Tekken. Street Fighter, I guess, has never been too great in that aspect, but now it's Street Fighter 5 is one of the biggest offenders now, having not enough single player content. They might have an arcade mode.
I agree with you. Well, Street Fighter 5 has a story mode, so it
does have a story mode.
They're one of the few that are actually attempting to give single player people something to do.
And for what it's worth, I think they are actually going to add an arcade mode. So
Okay.
But it's it's just silly that can't be a thing the game starts off with anymore. That's what I mean, and it's just kind of annoying and not really fair to people that just like playing fighting games but don't like going online all the time and just getting their asses kicked. It's just not as fun to me. I like going online sometimes. Don't get me wrong. It's just I don't know.
It depends on the game, though.
Unlocking something.
See, I completely agree with you, but it depends on the skill level of the game itself, because games like Injustice and Tekken, sure, I can kick ass online, so I'm not really going to be that at much of a disadvantage. So I do tend to play those games online more often than not. But when it comes to games such as that are more technical, like Street Fighter or BlazBlue or Guilty Gear, stuff like that, I have a lot of hard trouble playing that online because I tend to get not really stressed, but I'll pause during crucial moments because I'll kind of be in shock of what to do because I'm so used to fighting the AI. And I know that comes with experience. Right. I know it comes with experience, and it actually only makes you better as a player, and I'm not complaining about the skill level at all. My biggest thing, though, is, if I want to play online with somebody, I want to pretend it's couch, and, so I'll call Rich, and, we'll, play online for, a couple hours or whatever, but, I only play with people I pretty much know. The only games that I don't play with people I actually know in real life, because I only add people if I know you in real life, so, if I don't, don't even bother messaging me. But, just putting it out there, because I get a lot of friend requests, and I just turn them all down. But, I play Destiny online, I play, Tekken online, and Injustice 2, and that's pretty much it. So, any other fighting game, I want content. Me and Rich always talk about, we miss the days of Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur's past, actually, because in 5 was the jump to
Well, I feel like Soul Calibur, I feel like Tekken 7 not to interrupt you. It's
No,
kind
go
of
ahead.
like the Soul Calibur 5 in a way of the Tekken series, because it's like Soul Calibur and Tekken for a while have been known to have a lot of good single player content. And I don't think Tekken 7 or Soul Calibur 5 necessarily have bad single player content. The problem is that compared to what we're expected and given, it was a lot less. Especially more so Soul Calibur 5. Tekken 7, it's not that bad.
At least it has a gallery too. Like Tekken 7 at least has a gallery, so like you can like collect a lot of all the cinematics from all the prior Tekken games. And you can listen to the soundtrack from the jukebox, obviously, and that's only on PlayStation 4, I believe. I don't think you could do that on Xbox. And, I mean, so there is some single-player content, but pretty much the only thing that's... which is funny, because, like, Soul Calibur and Tekken were really linked in the last Soul Calibur because of, like, Harada being a character and, like, using the Devil Jin. Yeah.
Devil Jin fighting style.
Right. Which is what I ended up using for... yeah, I used that for a lot of my creative characters simply because it didn't require a weapon to utilize, so I can have more freedom with who I created.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead on to your next point. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to put that out there.
It's okay. Basically, and like I feel like, well, me and you are like we kind of want single player content, or we're as satisfied with it in different ways. Like, you basically need a story mode. Like, if it has a ton of single player modes, you're not going to be like that happy unless it's like one of them's a story mode.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you know, it would suck if there's no story mode, but if I like have a lot of other single player modes and stuff to unlock, I can live with that, I guess.
Yeah. It's up to the individual.
Yeah, because my only thing is, like, I love story modes and stuff, but the two things that suck with them most of the time, it's like, A, I can't usually be whoever I want, and it's like usually they limit, some characters aren't even playable in story modes. Like, I like a lot of the villains and side characters that usually don't get a big playable focus in story modes. And the other thing too is, like, a lot of them are very linear, and once you kind of go through them, there's not really much else to unlock or anything like that. Like, yeah, they're still cool, but there's not much else to get from them or anything like that. So,
well, there are certain games that do it better than others. Like Injustice did it really well. I probably played the Injustice storyline not only because it's awesome, but I played it like 1,000 times literally, just because it helps your character rank up, and not many modes can actually do that. Yeah. So they need to implement some other stuff for single player that coincides or goes along with that. I totally agree. It is up to the individual's like perception of what you want to get from the game. I mainly like stories because I play them over and over again, like especially when like they're good. And it gives me something to do. I prefer story modes where I can use a custom character or something like that. I don't like when it's like a little bit too linear. When they choose characters for me, I guess I kind of understand it depending on what it goes with. The thing that irritates me the most is when you buy DLC and then like those people have nothing to do with the story whatsoever. So like after you unlock all the DLC, you go back and play the story, and it's like, okay, well, where's this character and all of it? Injustice is bad with that. Because you know what I mean? Because like you have to go to the multiverse for like Lobo or anything to like even help you up or show up like that. That was my wife, guys. She doesn't know I'm recording a YouTube video right now. And I'm not editing it, so she has to live with her mistakes. But anyway.
I was actually also going to say, like, I think it depends. Like, for instance, Soul Calibur 3. Holy crap, I'm playing
my favorite Soul Calibur. because of content.
See, like, that story mode actually gave you a reason to play it multiple times because there were different paths and a lot of different things you could unlock.
And then there was also the second story mode, though, remember? Where you can actually use your created character. Yeah.
So there was just... And most of the characters, I think, were playable in that game's story mode. There was, like, maybe except for, like, the boss character and a couple extra characters, but it wasn't anything terrible, you know? Like, that's what I mean. It would just be nice to have stuff like that again. But I just feel like fighting games these days, they just don't care about that stuff anymore. At least most of them. Like, the only ones that kind of are exceptions are, like, maybe, like, Injustice, I guess, like, Smash Bros. I know a lot of people don't count that. I do count that. I think it still has a lot of good single-player stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, like, my biggest problem with Smash Brothers is they ex-nate on the story day last time. Like, like I mean, I played it a lot more for the 3DS than you did on the Wii U because I didn't own a Wii U.
Yeah, well, because of course the 3DS got the better side mode.
Right. Yeah. But
yeah.
I just because that kind of actually did have somewhat of a not a story, but like at least a single player interactive content. But yeah, I get what you're saying at though with that example. I just like I like the past Smash Brothers that had actual stories, especially like Brawl.
Brawl isn't even that old, so I even still count Smash Bros. Brawl too in that.
No,
yeah,
I agree.
I know what you mean. I mean, it is old, but it's not that old. I guess
well,
like,
the whole point of our Blaze Blue, first of all, has awesome stories. It's just a lot of reading.
Yeah, they're just not very cinematic, so they're a little more tedious.
Like, cause usually, like, this is no surprise to anybody, but like, I'll like drink some beers and like just relax when I'm playing games most of the time, and like, I can't do that with like Blaze Blue because like, I'm invested in the story because I played all of them except for the most recent, which is Central Fiction, right? I think. So that's
Central Fiction's most recent.
That's the only one I haven't gotten around to playing yet, and like I read all of the content, so you can imagine how much of a buzzkill it is when you're sitting there for 30 minutes reading like one person's like story. which is even worse for Revelator for Guilty Gear because you can't even that's not even interactive. You're just watching a video pretty much.
Well, it's like good and bad with Guilty Gear because Guilty Gear is much more that one's much more cinematic, but you don't get to do anything though. It's just watching. Yeah, which
I told Rich before. I would have much rather it came with like another aerial juggle battle. I freaking hate these. Sorry. I wish it would have came with like a Blu-ray of like the actual thing separate. You know, instead of like making that part of the game, I would have been fine with just an arcade and then having the Blu-ray as like an extra thing you put in. You know, kind of like how Dragon Ball like allowed you to watch the Hachiyak movie on Raging Blast 2.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, similar to that. I mean, I guess it is kind of similar because it isn't interactive and it is a section that you have to click on, so whatever, I'm stupid. That's wrong. But no, I get what you're saying, but it's like mostly a recent thing. That's what we're trying to say. That's why when we brought up Smash Brothers, even Smash Brothers is guilty of it because in their past games they've had stories and now they took it away.
I would like to say and that was for some dumb reasons. Like the reason they took out that story mode,
they didn't want YouTubers. Yeah, it was spoiling, right?
And a lot of people didn't like it. But it's like I hate that attitude that like, oh well, if it's bad, then we should never do it again. No, try to improve on it.
Thank you. Yeah.
I don't get that stupid. And like the other thing that didn't help with Smash Bros. This was a rare circumstance, but that was like split between two different versions. If there was maybe just one version, maybe like, you know, there would have been a single player, or at least maybe Smash Run would have been on like the Wii U version, you know, which I'm hoping it's, if they do a Switch version, like maybe that's just included or something. Because I mean, it is, you know, a console and a portable, the Switch. So I mean, you know.
Well, I ended up playing the trophy thing a lot to get the trophies. I think that was Smash Run, right? What was the one where you get all the character trophies that pop out? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's like the mini game. Something like I forget what it was called though.
That's what I played the most actually on the game. But yeah, so it's just a recent development, and there's reasons behind why developers choose to do this. Street Fighter V is a good example of a game being unreleased full because like they wanted to get it out for the esports crew.
Yeah, that's kind of the main issue, I think.
Yeah.
They care way too much about like that crew, and not enough about just selling their game to everyone. Which I think that's kind of the biggest issue. Yeah,
I mean, like I can understand in marketing when you're going to focus group some people, or you're going to go after a certain demographic based on like the stats you have for the past. I get that. And you want to maximize profit because you're also a business, and like if you get sponsored by like esports, they're obviously going to pay you a bunch of money and buy a bunch of copies just to like promote your game. And it's like an actual event now, so people are going to see your game and maybe they want to buy it. I get all that. But you're also forgetting about the people that got you to the place where you got in the first place, which is regular casual gamers. You can call them casual. You can call them casuals all you want. I'll happily call myself a casual. I don't care because I have more.
You give the money.
Yeah, like we're the ones that go out and spend $65. Most of the esports people get the games for free, so I don't like.
I know.
I don't understand that, but anyway, so I mean, there is no real solution outside of like taking more time to develop games instead of pumping them out as quickly as they want. Like we will wait, and if you want to, and we're already paying like $60+ to purchase your product plus DLC. I mean, God, you know how much money I spent on Destiny 1 because like Taken King was like $30. The Dark Below and the House of Wolves were like 20, and then like the last one, Iron Banner, was like 40. So overall, I spent like over $200 just on like the vanilla version of the game, pretty much.
Yeah.
So like we will spend the money if you give us good content. Like that's not the problem. The problem is when you focus too much on one subset of gamers that really don't even stick to the games that long, because they'll play one game and then they'll move on to the next game as soon as it's available for esports.
Well,
so
I guess to be fair, I think the thing is, one of the arguments against for the esports people is that they do stick and play with some games, I guess depending if they like the games or not, for a long time. And I think that's one of the things that's like, oh, well, they deserve to be more supportive than casual people because they play the game longer. It's like, yeah, but they're not getting money out of it. Why does it matter? Like, they play it longer.
No, I hear you. I mean, like, I guess when it comes down to it, it's just like you gotta try and please everybody. So I know netcode is unfortunately a big part of games, and then like that's why most of these games have beta testing now to make sure the online runs smoothly. And as a person who doesn't really invest too much time in the online version, I can kind of appreciate that some people do want to spend time on that. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing. And I often play with you now because we live in different states online. So I do enjoy a good netcode. But do I think that like it should take away from a gallery mode or an arcade mode or even a story mode? And I mean, and I'm not talking about like let's make them happy by giving them a story mode and then giving us a Soul Calibur 5 story mode. That's just like the example. That's the exact example of how not to make a story mode. Especially like right after Soul Calibur 4, which had an amazing story mode. So like I don't know, like my problem with that game is like I still play it, to be honest, but like once you like create your characters, you pretty much just go in that one card battle mode and that's it. Like there's nothing else to do past that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Actually, let's save it for your part of the video, Rich, because we've been running a little bit long on this. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna leave a direct video link at the end card of this video to Rich's channel so that you can watch his video on part 2. So now that you finished watching this, we still have a lot more to cover. So stick with us, and we will be right back on Ragiroth Enterprises channel with the second part of this video. So I hope you come back, and I hope you subscribe if you haven't already. If you're coming from Rich's channel, I appreciate it. Thank you. And just say Rich Rules in the comment section so I know exactly which of his followers are coming over. And that's all for today, guys. So I'm just going to ask you, like as always, to please stay powered up.
And keep being awesome.
All right, guys. Peace.
See ya.